know, but I just felt in the game, Tottenham, apart from the early part of the game when they played through from the back and they started to attack United, tactically they seemed to want to go counter-attack without the first pass going forward at any point. They wanted to bring United on, you know, so they could play through them, but they didn't really do it other than the first probably 5 minutes of the game.
Do you think they were caught in two minds about one or the
other?
No,
I don't think they were caught in two minds. I think that was probably their game plan, and United snuffed that game plan out a little bit. But you've got to be confident enough to receive the ball facing the way you want to play, not with your back to the game. And I think in Bissouma's case, he was caught in two minds. He's coming to receive with his back to the United midfield players, with his back to the press, and it was vulnerable because all the time then he was encouraging, or Tottenham were encouraging pressure onto their back four or back three, whatever you want to call it. And United saw that, they smelt that, and they went after it, and it was a problem for Tottenham.
Yeah, but Tottenham in general don't play very well against big sides. That's why you look at their performance against Arsenal, their performance against Chelsea. Actually, even against smaller sides, they aren't the most convincing of sides. So let's put it that way. And there's only so far that you can go, playing the way Spurs play, not kill off the games, playing poorly and grinding out the results. Jose?
Well, at the end, the results are the more important thing. It's true that, like you mentioned, it doesn't look like this season they're playing the best football. That's the reality, but they're getting the job done. And that's, at the end, it happens. And since Conte arrived, really, this team is just been going up, really. You know, it's been a massive difference. It's true that they don't play the nicest football. Today, they play very bad, in my opinion, compared with...
Shambolic.
Yeah, today, they didn't have any chance. Yeah, you can win again because you've been lucky, but today, Manchester United, they were better apart from 10 minutes, like Mike was mentioned before, the first 10 minutes. The rest, Manchester United was the better side. But it's true that at the end, they get the job done. And sometimes it's good as well when you are not playing as good, still getting the job done. You know, so, but it's true that today it wasn't the case, and they were really poor today.
I think it's caused probably Antonio a few more dilemmas in his own thinking, because, you know, we talked about it before the show about Everton and how they look better and stronger when Bissouma came into the team. Today he starts the game with him, so he's got caught up in that mindset of, I found a secret here, or I found the way we want to go. And now he's probably thinking, wow, you know, this didn't develop the way I wanted it to. The consistency wasn't there. Yeah. So he's probably going away from Old Trafford tonight thinking, what do I do next? Do I stick with that?
No,
or do I change it?
No chance.
And the result will dictate that, and the performance will dictate that, because they did look more vulnerable with that. Purely, you know, from a selfish point of view, Man United created that problem for them. But I think Tottenham at times didn't change. They didn't have that mentality change to go through and beyond quicker than, you know, we've seen in the past. Teams have come to Old Trafford and they'll go longer first, and then they'll pick up the pieces from there, because that can hurt Manchester United at times. Tottenham didn't do that. They wanted to play through it, but they didn't have the quality there today to do it.
Well, again, we're trying to figure out what Spurs are trying to do. They're trying to play through it. It's not something that is natural to the Conte system, Jose. And a lot of times, particularly in the first half, we saw how unnatural they all look, trying to build up as well. And they were punished on so many occasions. They lost possession of the ball, and United had a couple of chances because of that. What do you think was the thinking of Antonio Conte asking them to do that?
To be honest, I don't know, and I actually thought at
considering obviously Conte has a certain style, and it's proven to give results.
Exactly, but what I thought, we were talking about it at halftime, that he was actually going to change that in the second half, and he keep doing exactly the same thing, try to get playing from the back. But then they tried to play from the back, because Bissouma couldn't play the balls forward. He tried to play back. From the centre backs, they tried to play forward. Manchester United get the ball all the time, and if it's not the first ball, the second ball, they get it as well. So it was like, really, they didn't have, you asked me, how Tottenham played today, and didn't have a structure, they didn't have a plan, really. It looks like they didn't have a plan for this game.
I think they probably lost a little bit of belief in what they were trying to do. I think, like we mentioned, without repeating myself, early on, you could see their game plan, you could see the way they wanted to play, and then all of a sudden that crashed. It crashed and burned. They didn't do it anymore. And as the game started then to develop, and Man United kept Tottenham in their own half, we never saw Kane, we never saw Son throughout the game. And yet Tottenham went with the two guys up top who could be a threat, but were never threatening.
Yeah.
So somehow they failed to find that pass through. They failed to find Kane and Son enough. But then credit to Manchester United who nullified that, you know. But sometimes when the game is tight like that, you can't always play up to centre forwards and receive the ball and then lay it off. Sometimes you have to play through. You have to go through the defenders. And Tottenham never, apart from that first 10 minutes, Bentancur got in there one or two times down inside Manchester United's left side. But it was something that you thought, oh, promising, and then it just faded away. And they lacked, I think they ended up lacking that belief.
Yeah.